24 cities across Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan and Gujarat. In total, around 500 drones were deployed in a coordinated aerial intrusion by Pakistan. But India's military might stood tall. The Indian Army and Air Force activated an arsenal of air defense systems including L-70, Su-23, Shilka and Akash missiles and successfully neutralized the swarm. And that's not all. 8 missiles were also fired from Pakistan aimed at Satwari, Samba, Araspura and Mia. All 8 were intercepted mid-air by India's air defense units. An army officer likened the visuals over Jammu to a Hummer-style rocket barrage on Israel, but with one big difference. India was prepared. India was ready. And to speak more on this, we have in our studio Major General S.P.S. Thana, who is an author and director, USI of India and a former DG Infantry. Thank you so much, General Thana, for joining us on this broadcast. You know, what I wanted to ask you first was that much like Operation Sindoor, the intent of which was to have a very focused, precise retaliation on Pakistan, and like, you know, the Foreign Secretary said, the first provocation was on 22nd of April when 26 innocents were killed in Pahalgam by terrorists. Don't you think so far it seems like India is following the trajectory of being very precise, of only targeting their terror hubs as well as some military bases? Unlike Pakistan, which is speaking in a folk tongue, there is tremendous doublespeak and also copious amounts of lies, General Asthana.
Absolutely. You see, this is a contest between a professional army and a radical army or a radical defense forces who are corrupt and not professionally oriented. You see, all the actions which our Indian military has taken are absolutely precise, non-provocative, and we knew what is to be done, and everything was done with absolute precision. Uh, which requires a fair amount of integration of the machine, material, technology, skill, and everything put together in a manner as a part of the overall strategic plan. And let me also highlight here, this time, unlike the last two events when we had surgical strike and the other Balakot strike, that time we used only one instrument of power or one instrument of national power, that was military. This time we have used all instruments of national power, which includes diplomatic, whether it is water, whether it is economic war, and a whole lot of other,
Right.
even information. But the point is that all our strikes, whether it was the direct strikes on the terror camp or it was the strikes which were directed towards the enemy air defense system after they touched our military targets.
Right. All right. And also joining us is Captain Akhilesh Saxena, Kargil war veteran and a defense expert. It's such a pleasure to have you, Captain Saxena, on the show. I just
Hi.
spoke with,
Jai.
hi. I spoke with General Asthana right now, and I'm speaking about, you know, the lies, the amount of double speak, folk tongue. And this is from an army that General very well described as not a professional army. Captain Akhilesh Saxena, subterfuge is a major part of any war room, of any strategy when we are there. All of you are veterans, you've done Kargil, so you know subterfuge much better than most of us. But subterfuge also has its limits. Subterfuge is also, there is honor when it comes to two armies of two nations, right? So as of now, if you look at it, the folk tongue is also because the army does not know whether they are coming or going, in the sense you hear the defense minister saying something, you see the chief of army staff saying something else. The chief of army staff seems to be behaving more in a fashion which is not becoming of army chiefs, as I have witnessed in our country. There is a lot of subterfuge this time. Captain Akhilesh Saxena, do you think that you attribute that to tremendous insecurity and unpreparedness, as it were?
So thanks. And I think the first difference is in the basic character of two nations, right? So there is
Ji.
one nation which is, across the globe, it is seen as the very, very mature, calculated, always looking for peace, dialogue, right? And sometimes we have to even pay the price for this, right? We have done that. But still, there is set of ethics value, and there is another nation which is being built onto the lies in terms of ensuring that there is enough terrorists. In fact, I was telling someone, India has produced scientists, top tech leaders, artists, and across everything. I think Pakistan has the only contribution to the world is terror factory. They are like, produce 80% of the terror. They are linked to 80% of the terror incident in the world. The second difference between comes between two army. Yesterday I was looking at a video where Pakistani army officers, they were attending the funeral of a terrorist. Pakistan clearly say they have got do not have any link to the terrorist, but they were doing the replay. They were attending the funeral of a terrorist, and this is the same Pakistan army which during the Kargil war has refused to take the bodies of his own soldiers. What a shame. I have never thought that some professional army can stoop down to so low values. In fact, that time also Indian army has shown a lot of maturity, and we have done the last rites for those soldiers because they were fighting for their country.
Correct.
But see the difference between these two army, what level they are fighting. One is at the level of value system, though they are facing the difficult war. And second is they go behind kind of terrorists. They have got the philosophy that to bleed the India by thousand cuts and never come up. They know they cannot win against Indian army in conventional warfare, both in terms of manpower, also in terms of arms and ammunition. So that's
Right.
how they resort to all these things.
Yes.